Hi, my name is Leah Timian, and right now at about 11 o'clock at night, I'm going to be telling you why I think that it's important for you to be reading a certain book called Beloved by Toni Morrison. There we go. There's the title. Yep, there we go. So, a lot of people like to talk about how you should read this book, that book, so-and-so book before you go to college because it's going to make you an overall better person and flowers are going to sprout out of your ears and you're just going to become amazing because you've read this book. But I think that you need to read this book. Well, okay, nobody can make you do what you don't want to do. In an ideal world, that's true. But I think it's important that you read this book, that you want to read this book, because it kind of offers a new perspective about different things in life. Like when you think about infanticide. I know, it's an extreme case, but you'll understand later. The killing of children. You think it's horrible, appalling, but in this book it kind of explores a different route to why somebody might commit such a horrible act. So it just makes you think outside the box in a world where nothing is straightforward or clear-cut. So, I'm going to begin with a really quick summary. The main character, protagonist, give or take, is Seeth, and she was a former slave on a plantation called Sweet Home. Her and a lot of other slaves tried, and they planned this extravagant little bust-out, this little jailbreak, this coup de grace, where they wanted to fly the coop and leave and cross the river to Cincinnati. It goes horribly wrong, but she still manages to escape, pregnant with her child named Denver, and 3 of her other children are already waiting for her in Cincinnati. So she gets to Cincinnati, and after about 28 days, the person that owned her finds her and wants to take her and her children back home to Sweet Home and make them slaves again. So what she does, what she thinks is the right choice at the time, is kill all her children so they can't become slaves. She doesn't want them to suffer what she suffered, and she figures that death is a better option than slavery. So she cuts the throats of 2 of her boys. She tries to bash in the head of the youngest, and she cuts the throat of her second youngest with a handsaw. 3 of the people survive. The boys survive. The youngest survive, but the second youngest dies. So she gets taken to jail, but she doesn't have to go back to her plantation because they don't want her because she's mentally unstable. So she gets out of jail eventually after like 6 months or a year or something like that. And she's isolated from the community, and her and the people around her are left to contemplate the consequences of what she's done. So the whole book, the conflict of the book, it kind of revolves around dealing with the past and what choices she's made in the past. So that's the conflict. And just hearing that, just by hearing what I told you, and by you reading the book, your mind will just explode with all these crazy, nonsensical situations. But it'll make you think. It'll make you think, what if I was in that kind of position? Would I really judge her like I'm judging her right now? Because I know that infanticide is absolutely horrible, but what would I do to protect my children? What lengths would I go to make sure that they didn't suffer any more than they had to? So it just really, it kind of provokes, it provokes the thoughts. So, real quick, we're going to go into a little bit of characterization, get to know your characters if you want to read the book. Paul D. He often refers to his heart as a rusted-shut tobacco tin because it is cold, solid, and closed shut because he hasn't used it in so long. And he's the new love interest from Sweet Home that has met up with Seeth after 18 years. And there's Denver, her daughter that she tried to kill but didn't. She's the charm child because survived the horrible intensities of the forest when Seeth was crawling to freedom. Then there's Beloved, who is the namesake of this book, and it was her, my crawling already baby. That's what Seeth says, and through the whole book she's trying to make her understand why she killed Beloved, her daughter. seethe with her eyes like iron because she's so strong-willed and strong-minded that she will do anything that she thinks is right, including trying to protect her children in any way she thinks possible and thinks that it's right. So a couple thematic questions actually is, what's the measure of a man? What defines humanity? Now, a really cool quote, I know I'm running out of time, I'm running over time, is, definitions belong to the definers, not the defined. That's what school teacher says to one of the slaves before he kills him or whips him. And it's interesting because it's saying that if we judge people, we are applying our judgment to them, and it counts for us, but they don't have a say in what we say about them. So, all in all, I think that this theme that it's trying to portray is a theme that humanity shouldn't be dependent upon physical features. So that is why I think you should read this absolutely fabulous book. It will expand your mind in ways you never could have imagined. So thank you for watching.